Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1.
Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it is so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by. Now, here's JP.
All right, good morning and welcome to the best 2 hours of Tampa Bay sports talk you'll ever find. It's the JP Peterson Show with the great IndyCar Tim in our Dallas affiliate, standing by to add comedy relief and interesting tidbits and all kinds of fun stuff.
Is that all I'm good for?
Wait. And I said all kinds of good stuff.
All right. I mean, I'm not disagreeing.
Interesting analysis. Spot on X's and O's. He's your man. Jaeger shots. You don't know what's coming.
I need a Jaeger
Yes.
shot.
Good morning to all you Peter. You need a Jaeger shot. I think I do too. I'm just going to be cranking my monster here today.
There you go.
Thank you, Mike Santamasa, by the way, who just called me in the beginning of the show. Appreciate it. Dropping it off, baby. Look, I got my little monster fridge right back here. He brought me. Isn't that sweet?
That's awesome.
Sweet.
I mean, it ain't Red Bull, but I guess it'll do.
Okay. We got lots to get to here today, kids. We've got Scott Reynolds going to join us at 10:30 from the Pewter Report. What did you put on the tease about him saying something today? Truth talk or something?
On the card? Yeah, just Truth Serum.
Truth Serum.
That's all we hear is Truth
Scott
Serum.
and TJ.
Yeah.
Yes.
By the way, how do you like your little mean JP picture there I made?
Oh, I didn't even recognize that. Who is that guy?
That's you.
That's not me.
That's AI JP that's pissed off behind the mic.
AI is bad. I'm going to be going off on those two jamokes.
All right, what about this one?
What the hell is that? Who the hell is that? And who's is that the Pope on the right? Peter? Who's that? Paul?
So
you look like a monk. What the hell?
You can tell I'm having fun with AI over the weekend.
Pete's you are. My God.
That's like me. I said to paint me and you behind a news desk in like the Rembrandt old style painting with muted colors, blah, blah, blah. And that's spit out.
You have way too much time on your hands. Way too much time on your hands, my man.
I love it.
All right, so we're going to talk some Buccaneers, Bucs injuries, which we got some good news yesterday, I think, for the most part, and maybe a little bit of bad news, but the Bucs are getting healthier. May have Mike Evans back this week. That would be nice, although I don't think you're going to have a Buca, unfortunately. So it's the good with the bad. They just at this point, like, I'm not even gonna get worried about it. They just plug people in and win. It's the damnedest thing I've ever seen in my life. It's a magical season. We talked a lot about this yesterday, and it's when you got a guy like Baker who's on a roll, man. This guy is on a freaking heater. So is Jason Light. Jason Light's on a heater. Hell, Todd Bowles is on a heater. Some well-timed blitzes, and they get a big win. And I said this at the beginning of the season. Atlanta's going to be a good team. And that win week one is going to be huge. I thought Atlanta looked real good last night. I picked the Falcons to win a game. Had a 7-leg parlay, and the only one that screwed me was the Lions. I have $20 to win 800 bones, and the Lions screwed me.
Man, who saw that
went
coming?
7 for 7. Had the Falcons last night. Just because the Bills are a little beat up. We'll see them in a couple weeks too. They're a little beat up, and Atlanta's good. Bijan Robinson, talk about MVP. Yeah. I think Baker's biggest competition right now for MVP is Bijan Robinson. How about the NFC South? Suddenly the Falcons are 3-2. The Panthers are a plucky 3-3. They don't lose at home. The Saints are actually not horrible. They're in most games. They're and Spencer Rattler's getting better. I'm not going to make this out, to be the AL East in the glory days, but these other teams, and there's lots of games left in this division, and they're not going to be easy. But that's okay. We're 5-1. Who cares? We're 5-1, and it's the damnedest 5-1 start. Only 2 other times have we been 5-1.
Oh.
97 and 2002. One of those we won a dead gum Super Bowl, and the other one we went to the playoffs. So This team is it's unbelievable to say this, but it's in good shape. It's in a record wise. They've got some tough games coming up. Suddenly the Patriots game looks a little bit more challenging, right? The Rams are going to be tough. The Bills game looks a little bit more winnable. I think we all put an L there, right? Oh, we're going up to Buffalo. That's going to be an L. No, they look eminently beatable. Josh Allen did not look great last night. And when that fourth down play, he's like trying to flip the ball 15 yards when all he has to do is just rise up and throw it. Like, what the hell was that?
Yeah, that whole team looks just like discombobulated. And I don't know. I know they're dealing with some injuries.
Excellent analysis right there. That word you just used. Go ahead, say that again.
The Bills are discombobulated.
There you go. Right there. Right
now.
there. That's why he's IndyCar Tim right there.
Expert analysis.
That's what I was talking about. Right there. Bingo. On the money.
Bringing
it early.
You're right. Like, I didn't see that coming, that type of performance coming from the Bills at all, especially Josh Allen. Like, the whole team just looked like they were disconnected.
Yeah. And the Falcons didn't. They looked, even defensively, they were on point. And, Bijan's a problem. Drake London's a problem. I thought Penix threw probably 3 or 4 really bad balls last night that shoulda, coulda, woulda been picked. And I think he did throw at least one pick I saw. So he's still a work in progress. I'm not sitting there going, oh, I'm scared of the Falcons, but I'm just saying, there are no gimmies in the NFL. I mean, I hope you guys know this by now. There are no gimmies in the NFL any day, any week. There maybe the Titans, maybe who fired Brian Callahan. Who saw that coming? That may have been one of the worst hires in the Urban Meyer's pretty bad hire.
I was about to say, is it worse than Urban Meyer?
I don't know.
I
think that was, I mean, at least Urban had a little bit of a record, a track record. He'd done some stuff. This dude, this guy's the ultimate grifter to get a job. I'm going to be the offensive coordinator under a guy who actually calls the plays and runs the offense, and I'll get credit for Joe Burrow.
So I don't think that hire was.
My dad was a head coach, so maybe I'm head coach worthy.
All right. Well, let me throw this at you then, because I don't think that hire was any crazier than Brian Schottenheimer in Dallas. I think Brian Schottenheimer is doing a
pretty similar, actually. Yeah, pretty similar resumes, right?
Very similar resumes, right? The son of a head coach.
Mm-hmm.
Now, maybe
never really done anything on his own.
A little more legendary than Bill Callahan, but
yeah, agreed.
Bill Callahan coached the Super Bowl. He lost, but Schottenheimer never got to one.
And then you hire your dad as your OC or as your offensive.
That was weird.
Friends and family. That plan never works out.
Him and Lane Kiffin, right?
Yeah. I mean, come on. What are we doing?
That worked out for Lane, but I mean,
just and the guy you got rid of, Vrabel.
Look what he's doing.
I mean, who didn't see that coming? I mean,
by the way,
pretty obvious.
Isn't he going? Aren't the Patriots going to Tennessee this week?
I think you're right.
Yeah,
I think you're right.
How about timing on that?
Man, if you're a Titans fan, you're just like, man, this organization blows. You got Cam Ward, who's a piece, but good to move on from him like quickly.
They're going to Cleveland the crap out of Cam Ward if they don't do something. If they don't hire somebody worthy.
What did Cam say? We ass.
Well, he's right.
One of the great quotes of all time.
We ass. I don't know why we can't just speak proper English. It drives me crazy.
Well, that has a certain descriptive flair to it that I think nails it.
By the way, I'll tell you this about the Falcons last night as I'm watching replays of it here on whatever this is on one of my 72 TVs. You know why they played so well? Yes, Michael Penix will be eventually, I believe, a serviceable NFL quarterback.
Okay.
He's not going to compete for an MVP anywhere, anytime ever. But I think he will be a serviceable quarterback. He can lead a team. But last night, the story, the uniforms. They won because they wore the best looking uniforms in football right now when they wear them.
Those blacks?
The throwbacks. Yeah, with the red helmet, with the throwback Falcon on it, and the black jerseys and the white.
That's sweet. That's pretty sweet.
That's such a clean look, man.
And the roof was open last night. Those shots of that, when that roof is open, that is so cool.
I didn't even know that freaking roof opened on.
You didn't know that
stadium? What's the point? It's like this big.
It's cool.
It does that. No, it is cool. I'll give you that.
And the way that it opens,
yeah, it kind of spins.
Yeah,
dude, I didn't know that. I didn't even know that stadium had a roof like that. I'd never seen it open before.
Yeah,
have they ever opened it before? Like,
yeah, it's been open before. Not often. Not often.
I don't understand.
It's hot as hell.
And then they got that weird little scoreboard right below it that's like tiny. Also, I don't know what from inside the stadium. How can you even? Well, see
they've got the whole the whole upper rim is a video board scoreboard.
Right, but it seems tiny though.
No, it goes all the way around.
It's like the one in LA, right? But I mean, the one in LA is like huge though, and it goes around.
No, it's different. It's different. It's hard to actually explain, but you look up at it, it's pretty cool. Yeah, that's a really cool stadium.
I've always liked the way the stadium looked. Yeah. I just didn't know the roof opened. I had no clue.
Yeah, they built that right next to the Georgia Dome.
Yeah,
Arthur Blank, a Georgia Dome, which was, I mean, it was a perfectly good stadium.
It was.
It was fine. I worked there a couple of years, and I'm like, it's a beautiful stadium. Everything's nice. It's big. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Like, and it wasn't old.
No, they didn't need a new one. But it did have that fabric roof though, didn't it?
Right. Yeah,
I think it did. Yeah.
Well, it's like, so they did that in Indianapolis too, right? When they replaced what with the Edward. Well, they didn't even tear it down though. They just built a new one, I think.
They built a new one, yeah.
The Lucas Oil
roofs, not good. Not good.
Oh, but let's put a brand new one on the Trop.
Lord, please, Lord. Now that there's a new ownership group, I'm just like, please don't rip that roof off. We don't need that. We just let's play our 3 years, get the fuck get out, and we'll have a little nostalgic run there. But I want it's so bad. We did the show with Dante Bichette.
Yeah.
And Orestes Estrada. But by the way, if you love old baseball talk, man,
I love that show.
It's really good.
I listened to that show about hitting. Twice.
Yeah, they're talking about hitting and great. Yeah. And the day Orestes saved Dante Bichette's life from a machete wielding jealous lover in the DR. It's a great story.
I'm surprised they tell that on the air, to be honest.
Oh my God. It's great. No, that's a great one. Good thing O was waiting outside, not talking on the phone when he got home late at night from the club. Yeah, you got to go listen to that.
I will tell you this: baseball players and hockey players have the best freaking stories.
Espo's is the greatest storyteller of all time. He and Chief.
So great.
But Dante, he was talking about all his favorite places to play, and I said, well, somebody asked, one of the commenters asked, "What's your worst place?" And he's like, he didn't want to say anything bad, but he's like, well, Tropicana Field. He's like, that's the worst stadium I've ever played. I'm like, yeah, I know. 3 more years, and then we're done with that shenanigans. So anyway,
so
I don't know what the point of that story was, but Tropicana Field sucks. So anyway, we got to do that for 3 more years. But anyway, let's get back to the Bucs, shall we? Let's get back to the Bucs. We're gonna talk to Scott Reynolds here in just a little bit. TJ Rives is going to join us as well. So anyway, injuries. Ibuka doing an MRI, not considered serious. Not considered serious. He stayed on the sideline the whole game. So, which, by the way, everybody's bitching about the strength and conditioning coaches. So if Ibuka tweaked his hamstring during the game, it's good. They didn't put him back in the game like they did Mike Evans last year.
Yeah.
So maybe we're learning something. If someone tweaks their hamstring during the game, let's not send him out there to run 5 more fly routes, even if he says he can go.
Yeah, protect him
even
from
if he says he can go. So I think that may have been something we learned. They didn't say that, but I'm just putting 2 together. So we didn't have a more serious injury. And I'm not saying this year's Mike Evans injury was because of that. I don't know that.
No. Yeah.
But last year's was. He injured it, and they would put him back in, and then he re-injured it. So, not good. So he'll be back sooner than later. Godwin is not going to play. This fibula injury has me worried. Has me very worried. Bowles was very dismissive yesterday. Like, no, he's not going to practice. He's not going to play. Oof. Bucky Irving probably not going to play this week. But thank God for Rachaad White.
Hey, kudos to Rachaad White the entire time. So I was watching that game at one of the local bars, with a bunch of guys that obviously they don't know much about the Bucs except for Baker.
Right.
And Ibuka a little bit, and we were watching that game. I was trying to educate everybody a little bit because there was a guy there that said he lived in Tampa Bay years ago and that he was the biggest Bucs fan, but he thought Bruce Arians was still the head coach. So I don't know the legitimacy of his Buck fandom. I never called him out. He was a little drunk. I just let him go and let him give his rant. But, dude, I was like, this is why you carry at least two running backs, because they thought, man, they've got a great running back core. I'm like, everybody, their number one running back is out. Like, neither one of these guys are their number one running back.
Yeah.
And that's exactly why. You have depth at wide receiver. Look at your depth at wide receiver now. It's being tested because everybody's hurt, but you got to have it. And now with Bucky being out multiple games, that's why you didn't trade Rachaad White. That's why you still have Sean Tucker.
Right.
And you saw the results of it on Sunday, man. It was a great spectacle of what depth on the roster can do for you.
And by the way, Cam Johnson was an undrafted free agent last year.
Yeah.
He came in and he really, he flashed in training camp. He flashed at training camp, and then he got injured. Now, 90% of teams with a undrafted free agent rookie wide receiver from a small school, he gets injured. It's like, all right, bye. But they saw something in him, and they kept him around. And they kept him around. They kept him part of the family. Yeah. I talked about this yesterday, and this is how this family that they talk about, this chemistry, this culture that they talk about manifests itself in winning games. Because sometimes that's a little bit of an elusive thing to kind of define, right? And I asked Grant Barton about this, and I know I'm repeating myself from yesterday. For those of you who didn't hear it, but like you, Tim.
I wasn't here.
It's these guys are part of the family. They're not just like a forgotten part. They're all in the, and it's not like, yeah, of course they're all in the meeting rooms and other places, but I've just seen teams that just delineate between starters and backups, and they're just starters are the guys, and then there's kind of another team. That's not the way this team works. Everybody is always as important as the number one guy. They always treat it that way. And they expect, the expectation is, if you are wide receiver 8, you better effing be ready to play if your number is called. Whatever it is, from training camp on, it's like eventually you're going to be in there, and we expect you to know this and do this. Whereas I think in other places, it's kind of like, okay, oh shit, I got to play this week. Oh, then like, people don't even know your name. That's not the way it is here. And so when guys have to step up, the expectation is you don't want to disappoint the other guys. So you better be ready and know what the hell's going on. And you saw what happened last week. Cam Johnson stepped right in and stepped right up for a touchdown and more. And you saw that with Elijah Klein. And you've seen that with countless number of players, Tez Johnson, that have just stepped up in these injury situations. So they hope to get Zion, Evans, Benjamin Morrison, Haggard, we don't know about right guard, but Michael Jordan could be coming back to play that position. They like Jordan a lot. So they're getting better. Now, also, Brian Branch for the Lions is out for this game, suspended for an altercation following their game this week. So that's a big thing. They're already down 4 defensive backs.
Altercation.
It's an altercation. So they're already down 4 defensive backs. So opportunity knocks. That's another one we have circled as an L, and maybe not so. And the Lions offense didn't look so explosive this week against the Chiefs. So opportunity to be had Monday night on the road. Let's see what you got up in Detroit. Did it last year. Let's go back up there and take care of business again. Another big game in terms of tiebreaker later on.
Yeah,
you want to be playing that NFC championship game in Tampa or Detroit? Obviously, it won't be outside. That's good, but still, you want to be in Tampa.
Yeah, and you know what? The way the Lions and the Eagles are playing right now, you just kind of don't know how the rest of the season is going to go. So those games, might mean something. We talked about it with the Eagles game. And that one hurt, but heck, you might end up with a better record now than the Eagles, so it may not matter.
Right. Lord knows where that thing's headed, because we know it can go south quickly.
God, it's a mess.
Paris says, assuming Evans is back this week and Emeka is back against the Saints, the smart play is to keep Bucky, Godwin, and Gedeke out till after the bye. Yeah, I think that's probably what they're looking at. I think you may be spot on there, Paris.
Now, so you're saying if they're healthy, you keep them out just for extra rest?
No. No.
Just don't rush them coming back.
Just don't rush them coming back.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we're good. Daniel Rivera says, bad, potentially 7-1 going into the bye, getting our big weapons back. Evans, Godwin, Bucky, and Ibuka. Yeah, in a very, I say manageable schedule, but again, most of these are division games. So it's going to be tough. Yeah. Michael LaRue says, Billy Napier will be fired first. He has a losing record and a buyout around $20 million. Mike Norvell has a winning record with a buyout around $50 million. Well, he doesn't have a winning record in the ACC.
No.
We need to get into the SEC so we can actually win games.
Come on.
Yeah. Alabama, LSU, we're good against them. Wake Forest, damn, we struggle. Virginia, oof, toughie.
So weird.
Bring on Alabama. It is weird, isn't it?
So
isn't it freaking weird? Can't win an ACC game. So I want to hit that just real quick. And we'll get into a little bit more with TJ later on. I was looking at a lot of the numbers yesterday, and the more and more you look at Mike Norvell, the more and more he looks not capable of leading this team. I was going to use the F word, but I won't. That starts FR. That would be mean.
Sure.
He's just not capable. He's not that guy. He's not a good. He's been out recruited consistently by Florida and Miami, and it's not a matter of money. They have the top 15 NIL above, over and above rev share. The guys that they've recruited, the wins that they've gotten, they've had to overpay for in the NIL market. So something is not authentic. And I go back to a couple of there was an incident early on in Mike's career during COVID where he said that he went out and visited or personally talked to every player. And a couple of players popped on Twitter and said, no, he sent out a mass message. And I was like, ooh, I didn't like that. That was kind of a red flag to me. I was like, ooh. I mean, I know it's kind of nitpicky, but for some of your players to even come out and say, hey, wait. That was like, I don't know. So, and I've talked to so many people. I don't know Mike. I've never had a conversation with him. So I can't give you my spidey sense on what he's all about. But the results are just, they are what they are. And the fact is he's not been able to recruit a quarterback, cannot identify a good quarterback with, I don't know why they can't do it, but he can't. Every guy that he's brought in and recruited has not done anything at Florida State. Jordan Travis wasn't one of his guys, by the way.
Yeah.
And he didn't develop Jordan Travis. Let's just say that right now. Jordan, and you go back and look at what Jordan did, and it was all smoke and mirrors with the horrible offensive line. He made that team. He made that team with the leadership and his playmaking ability. And there was a lot of good talent on that 13-0 team. Obviously, there was a lot of talent that they got in the portal, guys they didn't develop, by the way. Most every good player, the Jared Verse and all the most every good player they've gotten in the portal and been developed other places. So he can't recruit. He doesn't develop players. Teams don't get better as the season goes on. I mean, what is he doing well? He's a terrible game coach. I mean, and I went back and was watching some of the game. I was a little distracted when I watched it live. And it go back to this fake punt that was a disaster. And luckily they called a delay of game, or it would have been a bigger disaster. They would have been shut down, loss, short field, tight game. He coaches like he's still at Memphis, like he doesn't have better players, trick plays and all this other bullshit going forward on 4th and 8 against Miami.
That tells you he doesn't trust his players.
He doesn't trust his players. And they don't, and frankly, I don't think they trust him. And listen, I want to be supportive of the program because I don't know if firing him right now is going to make that big a difference. And this is the conundrum that FSU is in. Who do you get? Who's next? If you were lucky enough,
James Franklin.
If you were lucky enough to hire James Franklin, who actually has built something at Penn State and put tons of NFL players and can recruit, if you were lucky enough, if he wanted the job, you're going to have to pay him through the nose while you're paying Mike Norvell $15 million a year to not coach. And that's if you can get James Franklin. All right, so you're going to go for an up-and-comer I won't say the name because I have vowed not to out of respect to my USF folks.
You did.
But everybody, but even that, who's getting excited? It's like it's 90% of FSU fans will go, who? No disrespect at all. And you just went that route with Mike. Let's go find the best group of 5 guy and move him over. It's not a terrible strategy, but it guarantees you nothing. And this is not a shot at the man who won't be mentioned, who's doing a hell of a job and doesn't need to be bothered. But you just don't know, like we didn't know about Mike. Listen, first of all, I've said this many, many times. It's an unbelievable skill set to be a very successful college coach. It is. There are very few people on this planet. It's like being an NFL quarterback. There are very few people on this planet that are equipped to be a great college football coach because there's so many things you have to be, and you got to be great at all of them. You got to be a relationship builder. You got to be great with X's and O's. You got to be a great game manager. You got to be an unbelievable recruiter. You got to be able to kiss ass on 17, 18-year-olds on a daily basis to keep them there. You got to be able to kiss ass for boosters, idiot academics at people at your school that you have to deal with. I mean, I can't even imagine what kind of skill set you have to be. So finding these people, finding Curt Cignetti is not easy. I mean, you could Google him, but it's not easy.
Google me.
And we'll get into a little bit more with TJ, but it's a conundrum.
So there is one caveat here very quickly before we go to break. And I don't know if you and Nick talked about this yesterday, but it's that weird little clause that's in James Franklin's contract. Did y'all talk about this?
No.
About he is required to look for a new coaching job? Did y'all discuss this yesterday?
We did not.
There's a clause in James Franklin's contract.
So that would offset the buyout?
Where he is required to look for another job in coaching or broadcasting. And this is per a copy of his contract that was obtained by Front Office Sports. We were talking about this yesterday. And if his new job pays him less than the $8 million annually he's owed through 2031, Penn State only has to cover the difference. So they may not have to pay the $49 million buyout. But
I sure hope that's in Mike Norvell's contract.
If my question, if that's the case, then number one, how do you enforce that? Like, does he have to go like here? If you're on unemployment in Texas, you have to go to the Texas Workforce Commission every week and say, I interviewed with these people, right, and give them a list, and they have to, confirm it. I wonder if there's something where they have to confirm that he's interviewing for either, and he's never been in broadcasting, so I don't know how that would work. But if he is required to go out and interview for jobs, any of these schools that are out there, I don't care who you are or where you are, there's a good chance James Franklin's going to want to at least interview for your job because he's required to.
Wow. Well, okay. Well, we have an opening.
Florida.
But if you're Mike Alford, you got to, the whole process. Are you going, are you reaching out now? To find people? I don't know.
Before you make a move, I mean, you have to. You have to know who you're hiring. Right. You have to have that guy in place before you let your current coach go. That you have to. Whether that guy is on staff, might be a guy on staff, right? It could be a coordinator that's going to be elevated, at least temporarily, an interim or whatever. But you got to know that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, yeah. I don't know, something to think about, though.
And he said, in his kind of goodbye tweet was like, it's a great run, moving on to bigger, better things. He'll coach again. It might be a good marriage at Florida State. Honestly, I don't know. I haven't looked at all the candidates out there. And I think Cignetti's going to Penn State. I don't want Matt Rule. No, thank you. But, it's like, who's out there? Who's out there and what's better? But I know this, Mike's, you can't keep him. You can't keep him around. He just hasn't performed. He just hasn't performed. And it's as simple as that. And it's the recruiting part and the developing part and all these things. They don't have their starting quarterback, wide receiver, offensive lineman. Not a one was a high school recruit. Not one. It's very damn. And for 6 years, you can't find a quarterback at Florida State University. You can't find a good quarterback to come play football at Florida State University and develop them. That's bad.
A lot of misses.
A lot of misses. A lot of quarterback misses. And it's not like these guys left and did anything. They all sucked. They were terrible. They couldn't play. And you recruited them. Yeah, some of them were 3 and 4 stars. Doesn't mean they can play. You're supposed to be the guy that looks at the tape or looks at the workouts and interviews the kid and says, he's got what it takes. And you whiffed on all of them. All of them.
Yep.
It's bad. It's really bad. All right, let's welcome in a man that
I thought you were going to take a break. My bad.
No, he's here. No, you kept talking, so we right through the break. So I had to.
All right.
I'm not gonna go to break
Apologies,
now.
Scott.
Some fella.
It's okay, no worries.
Right here. Well, we can't say thank you to all of our sponsors down here. We'll get to the break in a little bit. Riveters, Italiano, Golden Diamond, On-Site Construction, Third Generation, Cafe Paradiso, Jeeves Law Group, all of our great Genesis of Tampa, Kingmakers. There we go. Did I get them all? Hope so. How are you, Scott Reynolds? The face that runs the place.
Doing great. How are you guys doing today? Pleasure.
Is that a K-State shirt you got on there?
It is a K-State shirt on, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
not wearing Knowles gear.
Our wins are far and few between, so when they happen, I need to celebrate them.
Who'd you guys beat this
TCU.
week? TCU. Wow, that's a nice win.
Yeah, that's a big win. Yeah.
Nice win.
Yeah. We're inching closer towards the bowl game.
We lost the Pit. Yeah,
we know.
I saw that.
An 18-year-old quarterback who ran all over us and threw all over us like he's freaking Lamar Jackson.
Wow.
Yeah.
Maybe
I remember back in the day when Mickey Andrews was the defensive coordinator. If he played a freshman quarterback,
he'd be eating him alive.
The first 3 plays, he didn't care if they got a flag or not. And I don't say this it's like
you got to set the tone.
We're gonna hit them to the echo with a whistle. Right. Yeah, you send Renard Wilson up that kid's ass and make sure he knows he's in Doak Campbell Stadium.
I remember those days.
Yeah. You make sure he knows. Yeah, I mean, it's just and he ain't gonna be running around. We didn't even throw an inside fastball at the kid all day.
Yeah,
and when we did get a free runner, he ran in like a chicken with his head cut off and ran right by him. It's so depressing. It's depressing, Scott. Can you not tell?
I feel you. My football. It's October. Knows. My football team is not at 500 yet. So
yeah. All right. Scott I know a team that's 5-1.
That's doing really well though. Yeah,
doing really, really well. Yeah. I had a little monologue yesterday about Baker and just what's going on, and everybody's talking about it now. But I'll just give you the floor. This is if you and I have the perspective of lots of years of watching some really bad quarterback play and some good quarterback play.
Yeah, no doubt.
But this run that he's on 2.5 plus, was it 3+ years? No,
2.5.
2.5 years. 2+ years. I don't think even with Brady here, I didn't see anything like this. Those runs, and that's not the first 3rd and 14 he's converted, by the way, where he runs over 3 guys on the last. These are otherworldly. They're folk hero stuff, and we're living it and watching it, and is it fucking fun. It
is, and it's not even when he has the ball. Like you remember the Giants game last year where he hands off to Bucky Irving, and Bucky's like going all the way like making guys miss, and Baker's like sprinting 40 yards down the field to throw blocks. I mean, he is so fun to watch, and I told him this last year. I forget what game it was after, but I just said, I covered the Brady years here, and when Brad Johnson won a Super Bowl here too, I'm like, you're the most fun quarterback I've ever covered. I was like, thanks, man. It's just
without question.
Truth. Yeah,
and it's not to your point. It's not just the on the field. It's the spawing with the Seattle fan that becomes legendary. It's the stuff he says on the sidelines when he's mic'd up. I mean, and the word is authentic.
It is.
This is who he is, and they said the Bucs just let me be me.
Yep,
and I love that.
You know what? It's like the fan base here in Tampa, and I've got 30 years of experience in this market, has always gravitated towards the boisterous loudmouth. And the reason why is because the origin of this franchise, this team was the doormat, right? Outside of 1979, right? I mean, they came in the league, they couldn't win a game for almost 2 years, right? And then they had their little trip to almost the top of the mountain, and they fell back down. and there was like over a decade of darkness, dozen years of darkness, right?
Mhm.
And the Buccaneers were the butt of the jokes. They were they were the nerd in school. They got picked on.
Yep.
Johnny Carson, would back in the day would make fun of them in national TV, right? They were the Buccaneers. And then this guy named Warren Sapp comes along, and it wasn't just Warren. You had Hardy Nickerson, you had Derek Brooks, and all this. But he was the mouth of the South here, and he said, no, like we're not going to be the Buccaneers anymore. We're going to be the Buccaneers. And he willed this team to become better, to become playoff caliber, to eventually become a champion. And then you had another mouth of the South come on board, John Gruden.
Yeah,
it was a hothead. I mean, this fan base loved it. Some John Gruden, right? Just
he got a little Ric Flair in him,
no doubt that he did, right? And he was a showman. And again, it's like this is a fan base that in some ways is still a little fragile.
Yeah,
because it's been beaten up. Because remember, after Gruden left, you had another decade of darkness, right?
Yeah.
So
yes.
It's not been all roses down here in Tampa. There have been some years where it's been akin to Cleveland, right? The 2-14 debacle that was Lovie Smith in his first year, God. Don't get me started on him. But then you had Bruce Arians come. And again, that loud, boisterous guy, everybody loved BA, badass Bruce, and just, doing Crown Royal shots after the game in the parking lot.
Even if we lose, we booze.
That's right. Absolutely.
Win or lose, we booze.
And, cussing during press conferences and stuff. So it's like, I look at this, right. And Todd Bowles, he's a lot closer to Tony Dungy than he is John Gruden or Bruce Arians. But Baker Mayfield has kind of filled that void a little bit since Bruce Arians retired. And he's kind of been that guy that has been that rallying point for this fan base. And it's been so much fun to watch because he is their champion. He is the fighter that will fight the fight for this fan base. And I've said it before, it's become a staple out of my mouth when I say it. He is the engine of this offense. He is the heartbeat of this team.
Yep.
And it's great that the national media is finally catching on and, doing all this shit that we've been talking about dating back to last year.
Yeah.
He only threw 41 touchdowns last year, which was tied for second in the league.
They come up with this take of his culture, he fits the Tampa Bay. Yeah, we've been talking about that for 2 years, dude.
Right. He's been here since 2023. Where have you been? It's like, sorry, this is Tampa. This isn't New York or Philly or LA, or any of those other bigger markets or Dallas, no offense to him. But but you know what I mean? It's just like he's a fit. It's a
great point. He's our spokesperson.
He's that blue collar player that we've seen before in the Hardy Nickersons, the Warren Sapps, the John Grudens, the Bruce Arians, the Mike Allstotts. But he is also that loudmouth kind of guy that brings some swagger to this fan base. And it's like, I loved it when they chanted MVP for Baker. I was just like floored by that because he deserves it. And they could have easily chanted Baker like they do with Bucky and all of that. But he deserves the MVP chance. He really does. And here's the best part about it. He doesn't even care about winning the MVP. The only MVP he wants to win is the Super Bowl MVP.
Super Bowl MVP, yeah.
Because if he gets the Super Bowl MVP, it means you won the game, you get the ring. Your teammates, your coaches, your front office, they get the ring too. That's the only MVP Baker cares about.
Even though Tez Johnson thought they were saying that for him. Yes. That was so adorable. I mean, that was just great. That was great.
Tez is absolutely one of the best quotes, interviews, people you'll ever meet in that.
Did you guys see or hear the audio or see the video of him and Sterling Shepard on the sideline? Yeah, I didn't know if that got out too far or not, but dude, that was such a pure and honest moment, right? I thought it was great.
And the thing is like Sterling Shepard is just he is a ball of energy. He is one of those fire starters that you want and need on your team, whether they're a starter or not. You just need those energy guys, right? Because you've heard about the dog days of training camp. Well, the dog days of football season are approaching. Like November is the dog days. It's you come to work, you're not going to be anywhere close to 100%. Your body has just been beaten and worn down.
Yeah.
If you're just coming off the bye week, guess what? You've got like 2 to 3 more months of football uninterrupted. You got to deal with, right?
Yeah.
It's a mental kind of grind. It's a long season. And when you have a guy like Sterling Shepard be that energetic guy, that pulse every day, like that's invaluable. He's a glue guy. And I'll tell you what, the next guy that's going to replace him in that role is Tez Johnson.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like big brother and little brother, and their lockers are right next to each other. I don't know if that was by design or happenstance, but credit Todd Bowles for constructing not just the roster, but the locker room, because Sterling Shepard is a tremendous lead by example type of guy for Tez, and their personalities are so they're like kin, they're like family. They really are, and they have the same kind of personality. So it's such a great role model to have. I mean, you can say what you want about Mike and Chris; they're great role models too. Yeah. But for the personality that Tez is,
no, you got to have that.
You have to have that, and his role on this team will not just be wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3, whatever it will be down the road once Mike and Chris and Sterling are gone, but it will also be to be that fire starter on this team.
Yeah, I like it. Hey, let's talk about the Bucs defense for a second. Michael LaRue brings this up. He says, from Greg Allman, the Bucs red zone defense ranks touchdowns allowed. 2023, they were 3rd.
Yep.
2024, they were 14th. This year, they're 28th in red zone touchdowns allowed. Yeah. I saw a lot of good things from the defense last week. 6 sacks among them. Vita Vea caused most of them, for being honest. I don't know. The one other guys may have gotten them, but Vita caused almost every one of them. So that was good. And then you saw the takeaways were great, except on 4th and 6. Knock it down, Jamel. Knock it down. You chose to catch that one of all of them. But anyway, fine, whatever. It's a turnover. And they even got a strip sack that or 2 strip sacks and probably should have been their ball. So we saw some good things, but again, they had troubles getting stops. They really did against the beat up 49ers team. I don't know where to go with this defense.
Well, I mean, they give up 19 points. Let's start there, right? So and you hold a team under 19 points in this day and age when scoring is up, that's fine, especially when your offense now, Josh Grizzard, props to you, is elevated to 6th in the league, I believe, 27.5 points per game. That's almost Liam Cohen-esque. Liam was dialing in the 30s last year. And we've seen now this offense put together 2 back-to-back performances where they've scored 30 points or more. Should have had 33, if not for the miss for Chase McLaughlin. But to your point about the defense, I look at there's always something to work on, right? You're not going to check all the boxes. There's going to be some type of we fixed this, we fixed that, but we got to make some inroads here and there. I looked at the pressure is moving in the right direction, right? 6 sacks. They have 101 pressures now, which before last night was 3rd in the league. They're 2nd in pressure rate at 43.2%. They're 6th in sacks, tied for 6th in sacks with 16. Again, this is before last night's games. And 13th in sack rate. So they're playing better in a lot of different areas. Red zone is one they have to work on for sure. But I think we're also too looking at a small sample size, right? Just 6 games. And that Seattle Seahawks game was really kind of an outlier. I mean, they really would they have how many red zone touchdowns they give up in that game? I think almost all of those touchdowns were red zone touchdowns, if my memory serves me correctly. So maybe one wasn't, but so it's something to fix. But I think overall the defense is playing much better, much more aggressive. We're seeing the sacks now. I was a little concerned at the Seattle game. Yeah. But Christian McCaffrey didn't kill this team either. And I expected Todd Bowles to play a healthy amount of zone, which he did. That was the right call against that team when Christian McCaffrey can hurt you as a receiver, yards after catch. And a lot of those completions to McCaffrey, I think he had 6 catches or 7 catches for 57 yards. That's not fatal at all. That's acceptable. And Servassier Dennis, Levante David, Tyke Smith are right there to make the tackle. Like, catch 3-yard gain, make the tackle. Like that was phenomenal.
Back to Baker real quick. JP's jacking with his camera. He's having some technical issues over there.
Gotcha.
So I remember in the offseason they were talking about not wanting to, I guess, really contain Baker. They wanted him to run less. They didn't want him to be as Baker Mayfield.
Good
right?
luck with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So we knew it was a discussion. We also kind of knew, I think, that it wasn't really going to happen because Baker's got to play Baker's game.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's just his game.
Right.
But we also know, because we almost saw it, he's just one play away from going down. And, he tweaked his knee.
Mm-hmm.
He spent some time on the injury report this year.
Yeah.
Is there a huge concern in the building of his style and not being able to kind of contain him? I know you don't want to, but at the same time, you almost have to.
I think we've seen Baker do some sliding and diving. Like, he's not trying to plow through guys unless he absolutely has to, right? I mean, that's just his style.
Yeah.
I think it's like he kind of feeds off that. It's like his mutant superhero ability is almost like Rogue from X-Men, where it's like, when you touch him or he touches you, it's like he absorbs your energy, right?
Yeah.
It makes him stronger,
Yeah.
And so that's just his style. Is he one? Well, here's the thing: is he one hit away from getting really hurt? Yeah, but honestly, I think that hurt would probably happen more in the pocket than outside the pocket. If I'm being honest, right? I mean, I would be worried about Baker getting his ankle rolled up on or his knee, hit from the front or something by somebody coming low in the pocket.
Yeah.
So I actually think he is more in control of his health and well-being when he's scrambling outside the pocket, because then he is in control, not relying on the blockers in front of him, the pocket, if you will. So to me, I almost look at it like my wife, I don't know if this happens to you. My wife criticizes my driving sometimes. It's kind of crazy, I know. Like, she'll tell me like when I need to brake and when I need to
all the time
slow down. It's just, maybe it's me. I don't know. Is it you guys too? You guys?
No, it's the law.
It apparently is. It is the marital law.
Yes.
I don't know how I survived driving.
Yeah.
How did we get around before they got? I know. How did we survive anything?
Dead in a wreck or in jail for all of the tickets I somehow avoided. But anyways, I digress. But it's kind of like when I'm in like a little pocket of traffic, right? I will accelerate and I'll speed. Don't arrest me, but I will speed to find that little area of openness, right? I'll try to navigate through and then get to that area. And after getting yelled at, why are you speeding? Because I want to get over here where there's nobody around me.
Safety thing.
Yeah.
So where I have an out.
Right. Yeah. And I think that's what Baker does. And he does it so well. It's like he wants to get in a space where he can operate. And he does have a little bit of wiggle to him. He can make you miss. So he'll pump fake you even 5 yards past the line of scrimmage, and guys will bite on it. It's just effective. And I appreciate Todd Bowles and Josh Grizzard just saying, this is the way he is. And this is what makes him special. And we're not going to harness special, and it works.
Scott Reynolds joining us here from the Pewter Report. All right, as far as injuries go right now, it looks like Emeka is not that serious, which, by the way, if they decided, we don't know, but if they decided to keep him out of the game because he tweaked his hamstring instead of putting him back in, nicely done. I think that's an improvement over past years.
I agree. And the other thing, too, to stop you right there is when we saw Mike leave the field during the Jets game, when he really pulled his hamstring, he was punching coolers and throwing the helmet, and he was walking with a limp. The difference was Emeka didn't go back to the tunnel. He stayed on the sidelines, and then when he walked into the tunnel, and I saw him, he wasn't walking with any limp at all. So I don't think this is a real serious injury. Now, is he going to keep him out a week? Probably, because you don't want to have what happened to Mike Evans last year in the Baltimore game, where you try to play on a tweaked hamstring.
Exactly.
You extend and you try to catch a touchdown, and all of a sudden, pop, it's gone, and now it's torn, and now you're out a month. So I would rather not, especially if you're going to have Mike back this week,
right?
Then take that and don't get greedy, and then let Emeka rest for a week. And maybe you can even beat the Saints without him. But then you have another week, the bye week, and then he comes back and hopefully you're
Ready to
much
go.
closer to full strength.
Any word on anybody else? Bucky not going to play this
Bucky
week.
won't
Godwin.
play. Chris
Are you worried
won't
about
play.
the Godwin thing?
I am worried about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm worried about that. That's I don't think the team was necessarily expecting this because it's not down there by the ankle. It's actually higher up in the fibula. So that's not good, in my opinion.
No.
I don't have any insight. I'm not relaying anything I've heard from my sources, but the fact that I have not gotten any type of clarity from my sources is concerning because usually they want to put out fires, right?
Yeah.
Usually like, don't worry about it. Like whatever, but no, this is concerning a little bit to me. The fact that when Todd says, well, he's week to week. Okay. Well, he sat out of practice this week and here it is literally the day after the game. You're not even playing until Monday. Right. So is there any chance he plays? No, not playing this week. I thought you said week to week, not a couple weeks. So it's concerning.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But Zion could be back. Benjamin Morrison could be back, and I can't wait to see him get back. And what do we know about Haggard? Anything? Shoulder injury?
I think he's going to be out. He was in a sling after the game. I'd have a hard time seeing him practice this week and play.
And Michael Jordan's coming back.
Michael Jordan will have an option. They'll have an option there. Elijah Klein filled in. He's an option. They have Fiend. You have three guys they can turn to at right guard, and it wasn't like Luke Haggard was totally irreplaceable either. So it's better to have that many options than just one. So we'll see. We'll see how practice goes. I'm sure they're going to try all those guys in there and kind of give them a look-see and see which one looks the best.
Well, as creative as they've been on the offensive line this year, we probably shouldn't worry too much.
I'm not. As long as Kevin Carberry is employed by this team, the offensive line is one of the least positions I'm concerned about. Seriously, he is a savant, a guru, a wizard, shaman, whatever eloquent term you want to use to describe that guy. He is a professor of the offensive line. Just he's the best offensive line coach I've ever seen in Tampa. And I've been here for 3 decades doing this. And Bill Muir was good. And Chris Forster was good back in the day. This guy is he's elite, next level. Yeah.
Much better than the last guys we had.
Yeah. Sure.
Kenneth McClary says, I got a question. Allstott was asked who deserves his number 40. He said Baker Mayfield. Does he deserve the train whistle after a run like he had on Sunday? Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I remember the train whistle days. Those were fun.
Those were the best.
That was
that could get the crowd going.
Yeah. That was really cool. Yeah. I mean, Baker's fun to watch. I just say the MVP chant that just keep that up, folks. That's the thing, man. Baker is willing this team to win, just like he wills this team to get first downs and touchdowns and all this. You can will him to the MVP award because as much as the national media is late to the party and they're coming on right now, trust me, if there is some other player who bursts on the scene, they were trying to state the case for Puka Nacua. Why? Because I don't know. They play in LA, These, I'm telling you, NFL Network, ESPN, these major market entities, that these channels, these social media channels, etc., they're going to want the big media guys, right? Saquon Barkley in Philadelphia, all that stuff. So
luckily, his biggest competition may be Bijan Robinson in Atlanta.
That's true. Yeah, exactly. But again, I mean, Atlanta, so
which is good. Well, I don't want to call Atlanta a major market, not much more than us. But
I'm just saying, keep up the MVP chants, and that will resonate. The more that's on social media, it's kind of like in sales. If you go in assuming the close, right? ABC always be closing. You have a much better chance of closing it than you don't. So assume the MVP for Baker Mayfield, speak it into existence, shout it into existence, and it's going to greatly increase the chance that it happens.
Well, and the team will be campaigning on their social media channels and everything. They're real good about stuff like that.
For sure.
It's got that going for them too.
Yeah.
So there's been a lot of chat, and I'll get you out on this. A lot of chat about maybe adding a pass rusher, Max Crosby, Trey Hendrickson. There's guys that are out there, that might be 1 year guys. Especially, I think Hendrickson got hurt though, didn't he? This week?
I think he's like day to day or week to week or something.
Yeah. So it's not something that the Bucs have done a lot,
right?
But there may be an opportunity here, and also you don't want to see him go into another NFC contender. We've already saw that with Micah Parsons to Green Bay.
Yeah.
Where do you think Jason Light's head is at right now? And when you factor in the fact that he's drafted so well over the last 3 years, if it was ever a time that you might part with a second or a third, and I know he wouldn't, this might be it because you've drafted so well. Thoughts?
I mean, a second or a third, you could maybe make the case for it. Just let's set the level of expectations here. Please understand, the most amount of compensation Jason Light has ever given for any player ever in his tenure is the 3rd round pick for Jason Pierre-Paul, where he fleeced, I think it was David Gettleman, the former Giants general manager. And that was in the offseason. It wasn't like at the trade deadline. The only in-season player he's acquired was Steve McLendon from the Jets, and that was like a swap of 6 and 7 picks in like future years. It wasn't even like in 2020. So he doesn't make a lot of in-season trades. He's made one, I believe, since 2014, since he took over. So don't go into this expecting that there's going to be. What I will say, and I've said, and I'll continue to say, is he is more inclined to possibly make a trade, as he did in 2020, if this team keeps winning. Remember last year, this team didn't have Mike and Chris. Chris was out for the year. Mike was going to be out for, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 weeks. We didn't know. But I know Liam Cohen was probably knocking on the door saying, hey, can we go get Cooper Kupp, please? But the thing is, the Buccaneers lost to the Ravens, and they had a 4-3 record through 7 weeks. And as much as you would think that your general manager and your head coach are cheerleaders for your team and eternal optimists, that's not their job. Their job is to be realists. And Jason Light said, we're 4-3. We're not going to have Chris. Who knows if we're going to have Mike? This is not our year. This is not the year to push everything in and do this, right? The difference is if this team is 6-1 after Monday Night Football, right? This looks like a team of destiny, like of 2021, 13 wins, 2020, Super Bowl, right? Then I think he's more inclined to do something. Remember, in 2020, he did make a trade because they lost Vita Vea. But Jason felt during that start, and I want to say they were 4-2 at that time, and then they got to 5-2. So if the Bucs keep winning these next 2 games, he'll be more inclined to do something. The trade deadline, I believe, falls during the Bucs bye week. But at the same time, we're all saying maybe a pass rusher right now. What if this team keeps getting sacks by the handful? And what if there's injuries at other positions? He might have to address another position, right? Like what happens if Cade Otton breaks his leg and Payne Durham has a shoulder injury? Now you're down to Devin Culp. You don't think he's going to be on the phone with the Ravens for Mark Andrews? All of a sudden, the priorities shift. So Todd Bowles accurately says that this is a week-to-week business.
Absolutely.
And we don't have a crystal ball. We don't know who's going to get hurt on Monday night. We don't know who's going to get hurt in New Orleans. And injuries are going to play a huge factor. And then when it comes to any type of trade, it's who's available and what's the compensation and how many other players are in demand for that guy. Don't expect him to do a blockbuster deal for a Trey Hendrickson, a Max Crosby. That is not his MO. He does not have a track record of doing anything big time, hardly at all in season. If he does, it's going to be a day 3 swap or something for somebody you might not have even heard of. But we'll see how this thing plays out. The reason why no moves have been made yet is because he has 2 more weeks. And you see a lot of these deals come down to the deadline.
And you're 5-1.
Yeah. 5-1, right?
Yeah.
If they lose the next 2, they're 5-3, and all of a sudden it's like, all right, well, why is this team 5-3? And is the ship starting to sink? What's happening here? If they're 7-1, it might be a situation where it's like, hey, let's put some more fuel on the fire and see what happens.
Yeah. Week to week, it changes. All right, Scotty, tell everybody how they can get your great content at Pewter Report.
Appreciate it. Our YouTube channel is growing thanks to you guys. Appreciate it very much. We've had a slew of subscribers. Yeah. And we're up to 21,400 on the way to 22,000 right now. So thank you very much for that. We have podcasts Mondays.
And you don't buy your subscribers Thursdays. Like many other, by the way.
We don't.
And their actual
Monday, Wednesday, and Thursdays, we have our podcast at 4:00. and that's Pewter Report TV. Also streams live on our X and Facebook channel, which is at Pewter Report. And of course, we have our post-game podcast, and we invite you to our Pewter pregame show every game day at 9 a.m. So we're going to have one on Monday at 9 a.m. Bucs Lions. That means you get to either skip work or, like take an early break, or run out to your car and listen to it, or put the headphones in, pretend like you're working and you're listening to us. So, and also visit pewterreport.com. Lots of great content up there as well.
Why did James just put up Cade with a broken leg? Depressing.
Well, I'm not speaking that into existence. That was just an example. I'm just trying to.
You said. I'm like,
yeah.
Did something happen that we know?
No, I'm just like, as an example, like what would happen if all of a sudden you got 3 tight ends in your roster and 2 of them get hurt? Then all of a sudden.
By the way, commenters, if we talk about things like that, it's not like they're going to happen. We can't speak things into existence. It's just called conversation.
Trust me, but my bank account reflects the fact that I cannot speak things into existence.
Superstitious
I speak
people
to my bank account a lot, saying, "More money, please. More money, please.
Yeah,
more money, please," and it doesn't happen.
I'm manifesting it. What the hell's going on here?
Right. Yeah.
All right, Scotty. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
See you. The great Scott Reynolds, right there. The deal with something here in the chats. Yes.
Someone's in trouble.
Yes, someone is in trouble. Mr. Molinari. Brian Molinari. You're new in here, aren't you? We don't call people morons here unless you really, really deserve it.
Who's he talking to?
I think he's talking to us. They have 6 receivers. How many are they supposed to have? And then he gets a little more.
Sounds like a Falcons fan.
Yaya has 3 sacks in 6 games and 1 negated because of a penalty. That would be 4 in 6 games. At that pace, he would have 12. Is this not good year as a pass rusher? Penalties, blah, 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 blah. Nobody's saying he sucks, but the production has not been there. And 2 of the sacks he had this past week were courtesy of Vita Vea. So listen, I'm not saying Yaya is bad. He ain't Trey Hendrickson. Okay. That's the point.
Well, nobody is, though. There's one. There's one Trey Hendrickson. There's one Micah Parsons. There's one TJ Watt.
And if you can get them and you can fit them in the salary cap, and it's something that Jason likes, it's called conversation, bro. And we're having a conversation, and we don't need people coming in here calling people morons. What else does he say? Did something else rude down here? You be part of the discussion. Clearly, you have some interesting things to say. You bring some stats to the table. I like that. You're clearly a fan and you know what's going on. But we don't need what the fuck are you clowns watching? Brian, can you be a little bit more adult and be nice and be part of the discussion? Because we'd love to have you here, but not with that attitude. We don't need that. And by the way, did you not see Seattle where they scored 5 consecutive touchdowns? Did you not see the first half of the Eagles game where they did whatever they wanted? This defense is inconsistent, to say the very least. Yes, the second half was good, and they only gave up 19 points. Yes, that's not bad. But we don't just look at the final score and say, oh, this is what happened. We try to do a little bit more nuanced analysis than that. And we look for possible holes and discussion points.
And it's not always a cut and dry answer for things.
No.
That's why we discuss it. We throw things out there. Do they always stick? No, but that's why we have conversations about it.
What the fuck are you clowns watching?
We're not in 8th grade, okay? We don't call each other names. Grow up.
Yes. So
grow up or get banned.
Ryan, we love to have you in here, but grow up or get banned. We don't deal with that nasty stuff unless you really deserve it. You come in here and then you're going to get it back. Yeah.
There's been one guy that's been banned from this show. Don't make it 2.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, he came back yesterday and he came in with some little thing that I couldn't throw him out. And the little 3 ellipses on in the chat where you hit it and you throw them out.
Yeah.
His particular, he figured out how to get in and didn't have that. So I couldn't throw him out. It was a glitch in the system. Yeah.
I'll go back and look.
Yeah. Use your genius for good, whoever you are. Not evil.
We need more genius and less evil in the world.
That's right.
Especially in our
use your genius for good, not evil. Don't be a villain. We don't need that. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back on the other side. TJ Rives going to join us. We'll get to some comments as well. Got to get to the Lightning. Lightning get a dub yesterday, much better.
During the day, a daytime dub.
It scared the hell out of me at the end there. I don't know what the hell they were doing.
Yeah.
And can you win a face-off? We're brought to you by the Jeeves Law Group, JEEVESLawgroup.com. They are local, they are trusted, and they get results. Having a local law firm that knows the legal landscape here locally makes a big difference, folks. So if you're getting in an accident, call a great law firm here locally, the JeevesLawGroup.com, not attorney spokesman, offices Tampa and St. Pete. And the great folks at Genesis of Tampa, the Murphy Auto Group. We had a great event last weekend with the grand opening of Genesis of Tampa out there on Bears and Nebraska, right off of 275. Really, really cool dealership. Head on over there, see these great Genesis cars and SUVs. They are incredible technology, luxury. The value is through the freaking roof. So check it out at genesisoftampa.com. Back in 3, stay with us. Experience the art of driving at Genesis of Tampa, where luxury meets innovation and every detail is crafted for you. From the bold G70 to the refined GV80, Genesis delivers power, elegance, and technology years ahead of its time. Book service online, and our Genesis Experience Advisors will pick you up and drop off your vehicle. If available, you can enjoy a courtesy car while yours gets a complimentary interior vacuum plus a generous offer for your trade. Every new Genesis comes with the Miracle Advantage Plan, 10 years or 250,000 miles of powertrain warranty and 4 years of complimentary maintenance. Visit us at 801 East Bears Avenue or online at genesisoftampa.com. Genesis of Tampa, luxury redefined. Italiano Insurance would like to congratulate the Bucs on their 50th anniversary season. And you know what? We've been here for every season and then some, over 60 years in business. We've seen some smart coaches with great game plans, but if you don't have flood insurance or business insurance, that's a terrible game plan. That could ruin you financially. You don't want to take that L. So call 813-877-7799 and let their friendly agents quarterback your insurance and save you big money. Italiano also sponsors our FSU report every week, so go Noles. 813-877-7799 or go to italianoinsurance.com. JP here for Riveters, our new official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show. And just like our show, no BS, no corporate chain feel, just amazing, authentic folks serving great comfort food in a casual atmosphere at unheard of prices. Riveters is located just south of Raymond James and Steinbrenner Field on Dale Mabry, walking distance to the park. So free parking, great place for pregame and postgame. Let's talk about fresh food. Nothing is frozen. Burgers, wings, prime rib, roasted fresh daily, never frozen. That makes a huge difference. The mahi, the salmon, also super fresh. All our sauces are original recipes made in-house. Our Warhawk chili and fully loaded potato soup is made fresh in-house. It's the best food anywhere, served by people who actually care. Riveters on Dale Mabry, just north of 275, just south of where the Bucs and Rays play. We'll see you there. Are you looking to renovate your home, rebuild after the hurricanes, or build your dream home from scratch? Well, let me tell you about my friend Jason Fawcett and On-Site Construction. They have over 1,450 satisfied clients, 25 years of experience, over 500 designs, and a talented team of over 40 construction professionals. They believe building something exceptional begins by truly focusing on all the details, even the smallest ones. We understand that construction can be a daunting process, and we're here to make it as smooth and stress-free as possible. Quality is non-negotiable at On-Site Construction. We use the finest materials, employ the most skilled tradespeople, and adhere to the highest industry standards to deliver a product we're proud of and that you're going to love. Our project management is meticulous with a focus on completing projects on time and on budget. Your happiness is our primary driver. So give us a call at 813-579-5789 or check out our incredible website at onsiteconstructionfl.com. Are you having legal issues with a business partner or other legal business issues? The attorneys at Walters, Levine, and DeGrave can help. Call 800-616-0384 for a free consultation. At Walters, Levine, and DeGrave, we've redefined what a law firm can be with top-tier attorneys, personal service, and 26 years of success. From business law to civil litigation, we deliver smart, client-focused solutions. Walters, Levine, and DeGrave recently won a $6.4 million jury verdict from a large real estate developer, and they can win for you too. Walters, Levine, and DeGrave. Let's solve it together. Not attorney spokesman. For a free consultation, call 800-616-0384 or go to walterslevine.com. Offices Tampa, Sarasota.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
Well, we lost JP.
I'm back.
Are you there?
I'm back. What are you talking about? Here I am. I'm here.
There he is.
Can't get my one shot working. So whatever. We can work. It works like this, right? The audio's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go. All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the great folks at Riveters, the official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show. You can head on over there to watch all the baseball action tonight. And, of course, on the weekends, it is the home of the Tampa Gator Club for all the Gator watching needs. Who do they have this week? I forget. But Billy Napier, I guess he's going to coach this week, but I don't know.
So far.
Moving forward. Yeah, I don't know.
Mississippi State, by the way, JP.
Oh, are they going to Starkville? Or are they coming to?
Nope. It Gainesville.
All right, boy, you lose
3:15 kick on the
He's
SEC.
a little
network.
plucky. He's been a little plucky this year, but yeah, you don't want that one. Billy Napier, you don't want that one. FSU and Florida are in very, very similar spots right now, except Napier's buyout is $20 million and Norvell's is $63 million as it stands right now. And that's not something you don't have to write a check right now. You just pay him off for the length of the contract. And you may ask yourself, why the hell does Mike Norvell have a $63 million buyout? Well, because when they signed that contract, they were coming off a 13-0 season, and Alabama wanted Mike Norvell very badly. So in order to keep Alabama, Jimmy Sexton, his agent, who is also working with Kalen DeBoer and all the other candidates, he screwed over FSU and screwed over Alabama and everybody else, because that's the way he does business. And I would too. If you're allowed to do it, why not get huge buyouts for your coaches and your clients? But that needs to be addressed.
That story sounds very similar, JP, to what we experienced in College Station.
Yes, exactly.
With the guy named Jimbo Fisher, who was under contract.
He suddenly is the greatest thing ever here in Tampa or in Tallahassee.
And then LSU fires Coach O, and everybody thinks they're going after Jimbo because Scott Woodward was the AD in LSU, he's the guy that hired Jimbo at A&M. So without even any interest from LSU, A&M just goes, hey, let's give you a 10-year contract extension so you don't go to LSU.
Right.
And then had to pay a $75 million buyout.
Yeah, which is criminal. I mean,
is there really talk of Jimbo Fisher back in the
oh
state of
God,
Florida?
yes. All his ex-players are like, who won the championship with him, are like, he knows how to beat Miami. He knows how to, and he did with you guys. And it just, I don't know. Well, I do know. When you break that trust, and you stop coaching and stop recruiting, and go to Texas A&M because you already have a gazillion-dollar deal there, you can't come back. And yes, he was right about the indoor practice facility. He was right that the administration wasn't supporting. He was right about all that. I get that. But when you exit that way, you are persona non grata for me. You've shown who you are ethically and morally. And if you're getting paid to coach a team, but yet you quit on your players, you quit on your university, you quit on your fans. And now all these same fans, because he shed a tear during the ACC huddle before the FSU Miami game, want him back. That's how desperate they are.
Jeez.
He's not the guy.
I can't even fathom that. I'm so as high as I was on Jimbo Fisher coming to College Station.
I could have told you that wouldn't
see his. I never want to see his face again.
Yeah. Well, let's welcome in a man whose face we always want to see, the great TJ Rives, Bucs sideline guy, who knows a thing or two about college football. And I wanted to bring you in on this conversation. Who gets fired first? Napier or Norvell?
King of the segue. Good to be with you.
Yes, baby.
I was hearing some of the first hour of the JP show. Let me just ask this, and Timmy, you love this whenever I get the opportunity. Wasn't it 6 scant weeks ago, Mr. Peterson, that we were on top of the world at Florida State because we had beaten Alabama, baby?
FSU's back, baby. We're back.
We're going to win the ACC. We're going to win the national championship. By the way, everybody in the state of Alabama wanted to kill Kalen DeBoer. He sucks. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Buy him out.
You know, that elderly woman said, if I win that Powerball, I'm going to buy out that damn coach at Alabama. All right. 6 weeks later, a scant 6 weeks later, a month and a half, not even to Halloween yet. And Kalen DeBoer is raising a glass and smoking cigars and winning big games in the SEC. And everybody, including the host of this fine program.
That's right.
Wanted Mike Norvell gone 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
Welcome to sports. Welcome to fandom. Welcome to what we do with opinion.
Yes.
But I'm just trying to verify. I thought you were back. I can't keep the Florida State narrative in line. I thought you were back Labor Day weekend, and now
at least I didn't put it on. At least I didn't put my face on Twitter exclaiming that like Danny Cannell did. I love Danny.
By the way, completely back you up on Jimbo Fisher. I don't think it's it's the truth. I mean, Gene's been talking to me about this, about how he's back in Tallahassee and he would love an opportunity in coaching somewhere, blah, 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 blah. He left. Let's get biblical here on a Tuesday. He left like a thief in the night to take the Texas A&M job and did not give a crap what it did to Florida State when he did that. And you're going to welcome that back somehow, some way, because he has remorse, because he's now branded as you flamed out at Texas A&M and you may not get another head coaching job for a while. I don't know. I mean,
I don't understand the attraction from anybody, because look at
he won a national championship.
But at A&M, dude, he had the best roster in the country.
Yeah,
2 or 3 years of his tenure here.
Unlimited resources
with it.
Unlimited resources as well. All the things, as I came on the program, you were talking about all the things he was griping about Florida State not having. He had them all at Texas A&M. And could not win.
The best recruiting class in the history of the universe in 2022.
Yeah. Didn't win anything. So the other thing that I will say, because Mr. Peterson, you and I have been around for a while, and I've been with you and hanging out with you, you could end up with a Willie Taggart type situation again. When you go down this road and Jimbo took off and you got Willie Taggart, and it was a disaster. So you've got to be careful. I don't know what they do. I defer to you on the Norvell deal. Do they have that kind of money to buy him out and then pay another coach? It doesn't seem on the surface that they do.
Well, the problem is it's about $12 million a year, $10 to $12 million a year moving forward for the next 5 years, I believe it is. So you don't have to pay it up front. So here's the deal. You keep him, and Mr. ReliaQuest, Brian Murphy, and I don't know this for a fact, I'm just throwing names out there. My old fraternity brother, Jim Owens, Mike Harrell, all these guys. You guys have no idea who these people are, but they are the blood money behind Florida State University. And they're
donating more than $200 to the Seminole Booster Club every year. Just FYI. Yeah.
Yes, they are. And people that are going to make the decision. And I don't even think I've done that. I paid all my parking tickets. That was a big enough donation to the university. So screw all of you. Thousands of dollars. No, it's just that's the reality of it. And if they say, you know what, I think I'll go take my millions elsewhere, then you're losing the money. So Mike, I mean, at this point, Mike is a dead man walking. He is. I think everybody gave him more deference maybe than most have. And it's at this point 6 years of evidence, and he's never recruited a quarterback worth of crap. None of these guys on offense are recruits.
I heard you saying that earlier. That's amazing. You're saying for the clarification on the starting 11 this year
on the offense,
none of them are his high school recruits.
No, most of the starters.
Most of the starters.
Yeah, Squirrel White, Deuce Robinson, entire offensive line transferred in. Castellano transferred in.
Single high school recruit on the offensive line?
Nope. Not starting. No.
How is that possible?
And this is 6 years. This is 6 years. And the players that come there don't develop. You know, the players that have gone into the NFL, the Jared Verses of the world, those guys, most of those guys were transfers and were developed at other places. And this has been Mike Norvell. He's getting out recruited by Florida and Miami. Florida's been in the doldrums.
And I
they're
heard
not winning
you,
anything, and they're still kicking our ass in recruiting.
Right, and I heard you and Nick talking about that yesterday. It's like the opposite in Gainesville, where Billy Napier has done a tremendous job of stockpiling talent.
Yes.
He just can't coach his way out of a paper sack right now.
He's terrible.
So he can't do with the talent what Norvell did.
And Norvell's a terrible game coach.
Had. Yeah.
You know, Norvell's a terrible game coach. And not only did the fourth and eighth decision against Miami.
The only thing I can say to you, when he was here, he could X and O here, and I know you were talking earlier that it's different subset at Memphis with the money or whatever, but he was a heck of an X and O and developed the quarterbacks. He had a couple of quarterbacks at Memphis that could play. So I don't know what the solution is. Here's one more layer to this on the famed JP Peterson show. You're in competition right now with Penn State and Arkansas and Oklahoma State and UCLA and probably soon to be several others. I don't believe Bill Belichick and I don't believe anybody at North Carolina that that's not over with. I believe it is over with, it's a matter of when it's over with. So there's another opening. Does Kentucky come open, for example? Does South Carolina come open? If they're fed up with Shane Beamer, Virginia Tech is still open. My point is you're in competition with all these other schools that are already looking right now. And, you know, Alex Golesh can't be the coach at every one of them. And the next hot coordinator or the next hot, group of five coach can't be the coach at every one of them. What do you do? What do you do if you're in competition with all these other ones?
So somebody said, Michael Hall said, assemble the Tampa Mafia. The FSU Tampa Mafia. Are you part of those meetings? Do you meet at Ivaroni's or where do you meet? Where do you meet? I know some of the people. My former roommate, Mike Kozlowski, might be in those meetings.
We're naming names. They used to meet.
Brian Murphy from ReliaQuest, Peter Collins, my fellow Palmacia member. I mean, these are the people. These are the big money people.
JP naming names on a Tuesday. Burt Reynolds used to congregate everybody at the Malios.
They all love Norvell, by the way.
Right there on,
I don't know if they love him right now.
On Dale Mabry when Malios was rolling.
Yeah.
But I don't know where you guys are going to come. So you're saying the Tampa
Cafe
FSU.
Paradiso.
Okay, Cafe Paradiso. Yes, they can because they sponsor the show.
Room. We have a back room.
You're saying that the Tampa FSU Mafia backs Norvell right now? You have taken the temperature recently and they are still on board?
I don't know that. I know they were on board with him. They were very much on board with him. Since we have new information. New information has come available.
Based on new evidence obtained at Virginia and at home, did you say true freshman quarterback, that kid that was running around is an 18-year-old?
Oh, yes. Barely out of diapers, bro. I was saying this earlier in the show. Mickey Andrews, between spits, would have said, all right, we're going first three plays, we're going 0.
Yeah.
I want everybody. And even if you get there a little late, let him know he's in Doak Campbell Stadium.
Exactly.
Yeah. We never threw an inside fastball at this kid. He was more comfortable in the box than it was ridiculous. I've never seen a little kid run around like this and not get hit. Not once. Not once did we lay one on him. And that's
where have you gone, my Peter Boulware and some of those other rushers?
Maynard Wilson, put the ear hole that bitch and let him know. Doak Campbell stay. Listen, it's football, man. I'm not saying take a cheap shot. It's not what I'm saying. But if you send enough of them early on in the game, you will send a message.
The only message that was sent Saturday was SOS, and it's trouble in Tallahassee for right now. All right,
but there's no culture. There's no attitude to the. It's just
we know this.
Move on.
Shall we do this and cheer you up a little bit on a Monday and go back to this? I know you were talking with Scott earlier about this. You and I would be good to speak to this right now. The culture is obviously there, and I like what you were posing to the acolytes there in the chat and everywhere else.
Accolades.
Has there been the Petermans, right? Has there been a better 3 straight season quarterback stretch than what we're seeing out of Baker Mayfield right now? Now, again, we need to distinguish. Tom Brady was off the charts good in 2020 and 2021.
Yes.
But 2022 was like riding Shikra at Busch Gardens. I mean, it was crazy on he's really good this week, and my God, we're going to lose to Cleveland the next week. It was a roller coaster in year 3. And Baker is younger, but I think the argument can be made right now. You haven't won anything this year. You certainly haven't won a Super Bowl, which Brady obviously did, and he's the GOAT. We're not talking about comparing the overall career resume. But I think for the purposes of a Tuesday conversation, the argument is valid. Is this the best 3-season stretch, 2 seasons and 6 games that we've seen a Buccaneer quarterback have? The dude is electric. The dude is a leader. The dude has 12 touchdowns and 1 interception. The dude's in the top 5 in yards, in completion percentage. He is the biggest reason why they are winning. So I think it's a valid argument.
He's the new Pat Mahomes. Pat Mahomes is yesterday's news, baby. This is Baker Mayfield's world, and everybody loves him. No, and to your point, I don't think we've seen a more entertaining 3-year stretch, 2.5-year stretch. That's for damn sure. He's a different kind of cat, and he leads differently than Brady did. Obviously, Brady's not making 14-yard pinball runs, escapes, running down the field. And my favorite part about that run from Baker was the finish, because he gets up, he's still 5-6 yards short, and there's five 49ers surrounding him. You freeze frame that and say, does this guy get the first down? Hell to the no. He gets a block from Cade Otton, runs through 2 more tackles, and throws the ball over the line. I mean, never seen anything like it. It's just will and determination. He ain't Lamar Jackson,
right?
He ain't slow, but he ain't Lamar Jackson,
correct? And the fear is he's going to get hurt doing this, and so you weigh that because he keeps running into bigger players and getting torqued and knocked around. Just keep him healthy right now. But how do you? Again, we keep saying this after so many years where the Buccaneers as a franchise, as an organization, could not win games in the fourth quarter over and over and over again. I mean, there's many things in the recipe of the stew of how you go 14 straight years and not have a winning season. And 13 of them were double-digit loss seasons, 10 or more. But one of the biggest things is you don't know how to win. You don't have a quarterback that can lead you to win, and you don't know how to win in the fourth quarter with the game on the line. I'm here to testify from field level. You got that part figured out. Yeah. If the game, I mean, it's better probably than it's ever been, including with Tom Brady. If the game is on the line, he is going to win the game. If it's in his hands, he is going to find a way.
There's the key.
And win the game.
There's the key. If it's in his hands. Last year, the strategy was we'll score, but then our defense will close it out.
Right. And it didn't always happen. And you lost several times and you got burned.
You were 2-6 in those situations.
Correct.
In 7-point games.
Correct.
Now you're 5-1 in said games. And a lot of it is let's figure out, even if we have to let the Texans score with 2 minutes to play, which is exactly what they did, let's figure out a way to get Baker Mayfield the ball last. And guess what? On 4th and 10 in that game, what did he do? He escaped and got a first down.
Incredibly.
So this 3rd and 14. This ain't the first rodeo for Baker. He's done this probably half a dozen times where he is absolutely trapped on the 3rd, and he did it in the playoff game. And there he's out and about, running and bumbling and stumbling. Fred Sanford in his way to a freaking another first down, and the crowd goes crazy.
Did you just drop a Sanford and Son reference that neither? That none of the Petermans, only Timmy and I think, got the Fred Sanford.
You remember Jameis was the king of the Fred Sanford bumble.
Well, yeah,
and he now Baker's a little bit more coordinated, so it's not quite the bumble.
Because the Jameis legs were going different directions at times when he was running down the field. It was kind of
arms were going.
It was like the baby giraffes. It was the baby giraffe scramble.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. He was quintessential, but this is pretty close to it. As he pinballs off everything. It's insane, and it's so fun to watch. And the energy that he brings to the crowd and everything is very Allstott-esque.
Hey, At
Very
field
all-star
level,
esque.
I don't know how well you could hear it in the press box, but the chants of Baker, and then the MVP, and I know that's getting a lot of play because the Buccaneers put it on social media that Tez Johnson thought that it was potentially for him. Again, he's a rookie. He's the world is spinning at 8,000 miles an hour right now for him, every which direction. But he's over on the sideline hearing the MVP, and Sterling Shepard is legitimately telling him, bro, that is for Baker. That's for the quarterback. I know you made a great play and you got the flip, but that's not for you. That is that's for the throw and for what he's doing.
By the way, that was a great catch. I mean,
that is a tremendous catch.
Yeah.
That
If
like
I'm not mistaken, I didn't ask Tez or Baker this, but there was a play right before Cam's touchdown that they ran, and it looked to me like Tez pulled up on his route, and they pulled him out of the game. And Cam came in, and then Cam scored on that same route the next play. And I wonder if it was like, hey, man, you screwed up there, but we're putting you back in. And then he does that adjustment on the route and makes this full-out Superman catch just unbelievable. I mean, this team, and then the flip. I mean, how much fun is this team? I mean, if you're a script writer in the NFL, and we know we have them, you might want to get behind this team. Can we start getting those Kansas City Chief calls to go our way? Can we now become the new Mahomes?
Yeah, they sure get plenty of them game in and game out. But yeah, I mean, again, as you've been saying, and I said this on the Nothing But Bucs podcast, free plug for that if you want to hear Gene screaming the highlights on 98 Rock and the Buccaneers mobile app, and wherever you get podcasts, look for Nothing But Bucs. You'll hear Gene's calls. You'll hear me interviewing Baker Mayfield. We're talking about the new nickname. Maybe we are going to call him Big Pharma, Johnson & Johnson, with the two young receivers.
Well, they're hardly big. These are smaller Johnsons.
No.
Yeah. Does that matter?
And they are wide receiver. And by the way, they're wide receiver like 5 and 6, if not 6 and 7 on this team. And you're going to them and you're having success. So, again, you won that game Sunday. I don't want to hear about the 49ers injuries. I know Brock Purdy didn't play. George Kittle didn't play. And they have – okay. No Mike Evans, no Chris Godwin, no Bucky Irving, Cody Mount gone for the year, no Luke Gedeke. Off the offense, I went to public school, but that's 5 guys off the offense, and you were still clicking and scoring 30 points in the game. So it says a lot for that, and now you get ready to go play the Lions. And I love this because you now have the luxury of figuring out who do we rest if we need to rest for another game here. Bucky Irving, Chris Godwin. It's not December. It's not January getting ready for the postseason. And JP Peterson, if you find a way to get this game with the Lions, who are beat up in the secondary. Now, one thing, the Brian Branch stuff is getting a lot of notoriety, and he was suspended yesterday. He can appeal. He is appealing. And a lot of times they will knock the game suspension back to a hefty fine. I'm not saying they will, but stay tuned that later today they could leave the suspension intact for one game, or they could knock him off to a $50,000, $100,000, $125,000 fine, whatever the maximum is through the NFLPA. So he may still play. Not for sure that he would get the suspension dropped, but if he's not playing, they're beat up in the secondary. If you go get this game Monday night somehow, some way, in a place where you won last year, and you've already handled loud, hostile environments in Atlanta and Houston and Seattle without it bothering you, if you could go get this game and be 6-1, they are the story of the NFL if they win Monday night. Let me say again, that way you could probably make the argument they already are right now. You go win that game Monday night for a 4th clutch road win against a playoff caliber team in the first 7 games. This is the story in the NFL to start the year right now. So,
and I will maintain, even if Branch does end up playing, and what they either waive the suspension or he's appealing, whatever. I think you now have a blueprint though about how to get into his head. Clearly,
oh sure,
you do what the Chiefs did.
Can I say this?
Left him up during the game.
Yes. Can I say this? He is a dirty player. I covered him at Alabama a couple of times on national radio, and now since he's come to the Lions, he has had multiple personal fouls for late hits, for blows to the head. In the game last year in week 2, I'm trying to remember, JP, help me on my recall. Was it Sterling Shepard that I think on the sideline in front of me, Shepard's coming for the ball, and Brian Branch is coming from this way, and he launched off, textbook what they don't want. He launched off his feet with the crown of the helmet and hit Shepard like right in the head and got a 15-yard penalty for it. And I thought they should have ejected him at that point.
Yeah.
He has been doing this for the last 2 or 3 years. He is known, I'm not revealing a nuclear secret, he is known for being a cheap shot guy. And that's the reason why you see some of the back and forth.
Yeah, maybe a reason why he doesn't get just the fine. Maybe they might finally have to say,
they will.
Repeat offender, this is what's supposed to happen. So you suspended him, don't unsuspend him because of whatever. He needs to send a message, and let's send that message this week, not next week. This week.
Let's hope so. Yeah, again, that should be out later today because his appeal is probably being heard. And if I'm not mistaken, it's either Troy. I don't know if it's Troy Vincent with the league or it may be Derek Brooks. And I think the other one is John Runyon that used to play offensive line for the Eagles. Those are the guys that hear the appeals. Derek probably has to recuse himself because they're playing the Buccaneers. Yeah. So it's probably Runyon, and it may be Troy Vincent also that hears the appeal. And they don't, back in the day, you would have to fly to New York with a lawyer or whatever. Now it's a virtual thing where you sit there, they show you your actions. You have to explain your actions, and then they bang the gavel figuratively and say, it's the suspension is staying, or no, we'll reduce it. So stay tuned.
I like it better the old way when you had to fly to New York because it took a lot longer.
Yeah, that's true. And then you had to sit there in Roger Goodell's lobby for like an hour while he's
waiting for the principal.
Yes, waiting in the principal's office, sweating it out. Then you're going to come in and meet in his big, magnanimous office and try to explain to him, I'm not really a dirty player. Well,
you guys are past you as you're sitting there.
I don't think TJ. I don't think
looking at you.
Now, first of all, of my two co-hosts here, Timmy went to the principal's office a lot.
Oh yeah,
TJ never did. Right? Did you
ever
want
the truth?
Yes, the truth? I can handle the truth.
I worked in the office. That's how much I was below.
Brown noser.
I worked in the office with the secretaries and the administration and that kind of stuff.
Of course you did.
And they loved me. And so I was never in trouble because I was the one that was always solving. Because remember now, JP, you and I went to school in the dark ages when we didn't have a cell phone. This didn't exist. We didn't have this. We didn't have the internet. So a lot of times you would have to look up by hand where a student was in a classroom when their parent came to sign them out.
You go
and then, of course, the parent doesn't know. We're in fifth period, and I got a mom standing in front of me going, I need Susie Gonzalez, please. Yeah. There are 1,500 students at this school. I don't know who Susie Gonzalez is. Can you tell me what class she's in? No. Well, we're in fifth period. Does that ring a bell? No. So now somebody's got to go by hand.
You got to go get the index card
and get the index card and go find her class schedule on it. Yes. Room 213, wing 2, and whatever.
You don't need the internet.
I'm saying to you at Henry B. Plant High School, South Tampa, class of 1988, TJ worked in the office and was dealing with that crap because the secretaries didn't want to deal with it.
My God.
The assistant principal didn't want to deal with it.
There's more than one Susie Gonzalez.
And then heaven forbid if there's a duplicate. Yeah. Which one is it?
Well, we had old Mr. Tolles. Mr. Tolles was a drunk. He was the assistant principal. Mr. So when you sat in his office,
is tying one on in the office at 10 a.m.
Red face, the red nose, the guy, So he would pull out if you went in. That's back when they could whack you, and he had a paddle with the holes in it, so it was aerodynamic. Boom, boom. So he would pull out the bottom. He would go to the bottom drawer to the side, and he'd pull it out, and you'd literally hear the Jack Daniels bottles clinking, clink, 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 as he pulls out, as the whiskey breath comes over the desk. Right, and you're like,
well, wait, this is middle school or this is high school with the paddle? We still have the weapon in high school.
Mine was in middle school when I had
middle school. Yeah,
we weren't paddling in high school. I don't think.
Ours was worse because there was the vice principal, not the principal that would paddle you, Mr. Bennett.
Of course,
he had it hanging up on the wall with the holes that said Board of Education. You had to grab it off the wall, and he would follow you outside the office to the hallway. Where you had to go off like you're being arrested right against the wall.
Oh,
and they did it outside, so it would echo through the hallway, and everybody could hear it.
That's the type of stuff that kept people in line.
It sounds like Timmy is speaking from experience. Did you say it said Board of Education on the paddle?
Board of Education on the paddle.
Phenomenal.
Oh yeah, mine too. Yeah.
I don't know how we ended up on this. Oh, you mentioned, was I ever in the principal's office?
Yeah.
Brother, I was in the principal's office every day
Rick
of the
says
school
TJ
year.
was the narc.
I was never the narc, brother. I was just dealing with the problems. Screaming
JP,
parent.
we would have been pantsing TJ in high school.
Screaming parent on the phone over and over again. You think those secretaries want to deal with that over and over again? They're like, TJ, talk to that guy on line 3. Find out what he wants.
You probably had a voice like that too. He'd be like, playing high school.
Well, no, that was interesting. Okay, so we're revealing everything on a Tuesday morning. So I had I had a higher pitched voice like this when I was about 16.
Before they dropped.
And then like one day later, I suddenly sounded like this at school.
And your mother was like,
you
what?
ain't kidding. You ain't kidding that they loved having me on the phone. They're like, talk to this woman and tell her to calm down because you sound like the assistant principal or the assistant dean or whatever. So that frequently happened where I was like the voice of reason when I looked 12, but I sounded 50. Yeah, so exactly. They loved that.
TJ, I'm going to need you to do your next injury update from the sideline with that voice.
With that voice.
14-year-old voice.
Advent Health injury update. Emeka Ibuka is on the ground next to me, and they're stretching him out, and he's got a look on his face like, I ain't playing. And that was at halftime, by the way, and that's a legit true story. Because I looked, I mean, it was free for everybody to see at halftime when he came out of the locker room, and they were stretching him down on the ground in front of me, and the look was like, yeah, that hurts. Okay. Yeah,
to add to the drama, you wouldn't know this, but in the press box, right before 3rd and 14, the great Paul Porter comes on and he said, injury update. And somebody finally told him the G is silent. So he got it right this week. Said, Emeka Ibuka has a hamstring injury. His return is doubtful. And you hear this audible groan in the press box. And we're all looking out there and like, okay, we got Cam, we got Tez, we got
Sterling Shepard,
we got Ryan. Like this is not the 2021 Buccaneers.
But I keep
receiving core
stressing it doesn't matter. It doesn't phase this guy, at least so far. Baker Mayfield, get open and I will get you the ball wherever it is, including Cade Otton becoming more of the offense, backs out of the backfield.
But then he goes, and I'm looking like, how are we going to 3rd and 14? Like, this is where it's 20-19. This is where this thing turns. And then, he drops back the throw, and it's like, let's meet at Baker and beat him up. And you're like, oh, God. I mean, your heart just like, yep, this is the turn. He's sacked minus. Now we're going to punt it back there. I mean, these are all things going through my head. And then I'm like, oh, my God, there he goes.
My angle on that is I am just left of the bench, TV left at about the 30, and I saw the two guys come to sandwich him, and I saw him get free, and I take a step out to be able to see him around the bench to get around the first defender, and I'm like, he's going to get the first down, and the crowd is roaring. Yes. I don't know how well it translated in the press box. The crowd went berserk as he's running through the secondary and running towards the first down. And how does that not inspire the other 46 active guys to go run through a wall and go win the game?
Right. And 2 plays later, his hand's up and he's Supermaning in the end zone. Tez is. And it's just, that's folklore stuff. That's how you become a folk hero. Those 2 plays right there. And those are in the bank. And it was, even Jim Nantz was like, Baker 3rd and 14. Try to get the first down. Oh, he's not going to get a chance.
He's going to do it again.
As he got smothered, he goes, oh, he's not going to get the chance. But he breaks away. And then the rest is history. This is so much freaking fun watching this.
It is.
So script writers at the NFL, get on board with this folk hero stuff. Patrick Mahomes is last 2 seasons ago. We're done with him. We're moving on to a new season of NFL drama. And
it doesn't look like it's going to be Josh Allen this year either, by the way.
No, wow. It'll be Josh Allen.
Wow. No. And they got beat up in that game and injured, including losing in Atlanta. I keep saying these wins over Atlanta and Houston and Seattle on the road are going to look bigger and better and bigger and better as the year goes on for what you've already done. So let's do this. I think you got to roll, right? I will do everything I can after the Monday night game next week and very little sleep if you want me to jump on with you next Tuesday, 1 week from today.
Ears still ringing from Detroit against the world.
Oh, my God. It's a 4 Advil game, two before and 2 after for that. So stay tuned.
Happy travels.
It's going to be crazy, and it's good crazy, and it sets up well for the end of the year. You're playing with house money right now at 5-1. Let's keep it up. I mean, this kind of start we're not necessarily accustomed to, but this is the start that gets you to an 11th win, a 12th win, or dare we even say like a 12th or 13th win where you move up. Keep Baker healthy, long way to go, but you move up in the seeding and the chance for the number 1 seed, etc. The 5-1 start. Great start. Let's see if it continues.
TJ Rives, ladies and gentlemen, Bucs sideline guy. Nothing but Butts podcast. Must listen, especially after big wins like that.
Revealing for the first time in nearly 40 years that I worked in the office in high school. You heard it here on the JP Peterson Show.
Plant High School. People be like, moms be like, I remember him. That voice. Yes.
Henry B. Plant High School, class of 88.
Attaboy.
By the way, both twins work in the Steinbrenner office in high school, and one of them on a regular basis is about to lose their mind with these crazy parents on how many times do I have to tell you that you have to sign that thing right down below and we will find your daughter or your son. I digress. She's doing well handling it.
Good.
I digressed on that. The twins are doing well. Glad you guys are doing well. Let's see what happens with the Buccaneers and all the crazy college football.
All right.
You need me, you know where to find me. Be well.
I can't play golf today, by the way, but maybe tomorrow.
We got to get out there at some point.
Tomorrow could
the weather is gorgeous.
I know. It's so nice.
You got to take advantage of this. Be well, boys.
Great, TJ Rives. All right, we got to hit a break, and then we'll come back on the other side. And we have empirical proof that the NFL was favoring the Kansas City Chiefs. Study has been done. We needed a study on this, by the way, to prove what we already knew from our eyes. We're brought to you by the great folks at Cafe Paradiso. My good friend Paulo over there, number 3 on the open table list, folks. If you have not been, I know so many of you tell me all the time, oh, I went for my anniversary. It was awesome, blah, blah, blah. Just go for a great meal. Cafe Paradiso, paradisottampa.com is the website right there on South McDill. Go get you some branzino, some sausage, farfalle, salsiccia. We love it. Cafe Paradiso, back in 3. The holidays are coming up, and the Gold and Diamond Source wants to be your family jeweler. Discover the ultimate jewelry superstore with the largest selection of diamonds, engagement rings, and fine jewelry all under one roof. Don't wait any longer to find that one-of-a-kind perfect engagement ring for that special someone in your life. And as your relationship grows, so can your diamond with the Gold and Diamond Source. Trade up at any time. You get 100% of its value when you come back to trade up. And why don't you get a head start on your holiday shopping? With the Gold and Diamond Source's unbeatable low pricing and financing options, you can get 5 years, 0%, and make this holiday season truly memorable. The Gold and Diamond Source takes pride in offering only natural diamonds formed over billions of years by the Earth's incredible forces. If it's real love, get a real diamond. Shop online anytime at goldanddiamond.com or stop by their showroom and tell them JP sent you at 3800 Almaton Road, always online at goldanddiamond.com. Welcome to Kingmakers, home of the JP Peterson Show studio and Tampa's premier business networking and social club for members only. By day, it's an exclusive, vibrant co-working space with a stylish conference room, focus rooms, a full production studio, and an in-house marketing team. And by night, Kingmakers transforms into a sports-centric social hub with a full sports bar, golf simulator, and exclusive events. For young entrepreneurs and seasoned professionals, it's the perfect place to work hard, play hard, and make big moves in Midtown Tampa. Close the deal, celebrate the win. Only at Kingmakers. Become a member today at kingmakerstampa.com. Your business, your club. JP here for the Jeeves Law Group and my man Scott Jeeves, who lives right here and has long been a highly respected member of our community. He's a proud sponsor of the Tampa Riverwalk. Jeeves Law Group is also a proud sponsor of our Grand Central District in St. Pete and has neighborhood events throughout the year. He has an office on Central Avenue in St. Pete and one on South Howard in Tampa. You can't get more local than that. So when you need an attorney, you're going to hire some huge firm that advertises all over the state or the one that supports your favorite sports show. It's the Jeeves Law Group. We're local, we're trusted, and we get results. For personal injury and personal attention, call us for a free case evaluation. That's 8889-JEEVES. That's 8889-JEEVES. With this record heat in Tampa Bay, you better have your AC unit running at peak efficiency. Third Generation Plumbing installs the best American standard AC units. Our split systems offer the highest efficiency available while reducing energy bills and maximizing comfort. That's why Third Generation Plumbing trusts American standard air conditioning, built to last, made to perform. Whether it's a new install or an emergency repair, our family-owned team brings 3 generations of trusted service to your home, now with the unmatched reliability of American standard. Plumbing or cooling, we've got Tampa covered. Call Third Generation Plumbing today, 813-961-8024, or go to thirdgenerationplumbing.com. And we also do AC.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, voted number 3 People's Choice Award on Open Table. I want to thank all our loyal family of customers that have been enjoying our great traditional Italian dishes we make from scratch every day. It's a great family story we're proud of. Our family moved from Rimini, Italy in 1984. My dad, Caesar, started Donatello, and that's where I got the start in the restaurant business. I started Caffè Paradiso on South McDill in 1995, and we've been there ever since. From our traditional ossobuco, a veal slow roast for 4 hours, to our daily fresh catch, the Gruppo Paradiso, with a piccata sauce and lobster claw meat, homemade pasta like lasagna, farfalle salchicha, which is a bow tie pasta homemade with fresh sausage. Hold on a minute, JP's favorite.
I love it.
So come and have a glass of wine with me on South McDill. Get a reservation on Open Table and see all our 5-star reviews. Ciao, see you soon at Paradiso.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show. Reminder, Delete Me makes it easy, quick, and safe to remove your personal data online at a time when surveillance and data breaches are common enough to make everyone vulnerable. Data brokers make a profit off your data. It's a commodity. Anyone on the web can buy your private details that can lead to identity theft, phishing attempts, and harassment. But now you can protect your privacy with Delete Me. That's why you get all those weird spam calls and those messages like, hey, remember me? So to take control of your data and keep your private life private by signing up for Delete Me, you can get it as a special discount for our listeners. Get 20% off your Delete Me plan when you go to joindeleteme.com/hit and use the promo code HIT at checkout. The only way to get 20% off is to go to joindeleteme.com/hit and enter the code HIT at checkout. That's joindeleteme.com/hit, code HIT. So do that. What a pain in the ass all those things are, right?
That's how I find most of my girlfriends recently, JP, is through those wrong numbers.
It's not a girl.
She
His
sounded
name
like
is
a girl.
Igor,
And via
and he
text,
lives
she
in
sounded like a girl.
Slovotnik, and he's going to take all of your money.
Well, good. I don't have any. So
FYI.
she's in for a shock.
So the Lightning get a 4-3 win yesterday, my friend. A little jumbling of the lines by Mr. Cooper. So he put Gensel down there with Pontus Holmberg and Gonsalves. And did I get that right? Hold on. Yeah. Gonzo and Gonsalves, yeah. And Sorelli got a couple of goals out of that deal. Some great plays. And then Pontus Holmberg went down to the third line with Yanni Gordon Bjorkstrand. He got a couple, or involved in a couple. So what I really liked, though, was they were up 4-1 in the second period, 3:37 left, and Chernak goes in for a ill-advised pinch and leaves his back door open. You never want to leave your back door open.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah. Especially in Boston. And you got burned. Jonas Johansson, who was really, really good yesterday. They scored to make it 4-2, and it's like, you got a 3-goal lead. What are you doing? Cooper went absolutely ballistic, and I think we needed that.
Yeah,
I think we needed that. You know, there needed to be a kick in the ass. They came out and they played better. They jumbled the lines. They played better. JJ Moser was back, so we had the 4D, which we really like. And they just look, you know, they made some mistakes, a few too many odd man rushes again, but not as bad as the first 2 games. So Sorelli finally got off the schneid, those 2 goals, and Holmberg made an unbelievable move at the goal line to set up Yanni Gord's goal. So good win. Boston was, I think they were undefeated coming in. So now they play back-to-back They got a game at Washington tonight, so probably see Vassie back in there for this. Yeah, so
you don't like playing to a 4-1 lead and then having to nurse a 4-3 lead through the entire third period, though.
Right. Yeah, and especially at the end when you couldn't win a faceoff. They won 21% of the faceoffs yesterday.
Yeah.
21%, bro. That ain't getting it done. Now, Sorelli won a couple late, and they had a 5-on-3 that they had to kill off, but they did it. And Johansson was great. Defense played better, but those last few minutes were a little crazy. And Kucherov had a chance for an empty netter, would have put it away and missed that. So, we got the win, 4-3, one at a time. Go get this one in DC tonight. They're 2-1 right now. Yeah, so they're okay. 2-1, have not won at home. So they're 2-0 on the road. So Caps tonight and the Lightning, 7:00, Capital One Arena.
JP, I bet if you put me on skates in a face-off circle 100 times with the best face-off guys in the NHL, 100 times, I bet I could win 23.
Yeah, that's bad. It's really bad. Yeah.
And I hadn't skated in 10 years.
Kenneth McClary says, I got the Fred Sanford reference. Unfortunately, I'm old enough to know that. Yeah, baby. Then when sitcoms were sitcoms, you could say a lot of different things. I mean, you were laughing at yourself when we were able to laugh at each other and laugh at ourselves back in the day. Nathan Ellie says, don't mess with Sanford, son. Yeah, absolutely, brother. What else we got here today? James says the Tampa Mafia is not on board with Norvell anymore. That ship has sailed. Do you know that? Do you have actual information on that?
I mean, it's a pretty good guess. They shouldn't be.
I'm going to do some research on that today.
Yeah, report back tomorrow. Investigative journalism, JP.
Yeah, we'll take the temperature of the rich people and see where they're at. Because they drive the train. Thank God for them. Because without them, we would be. And there's a conversation that needs to be had, and I think a lot of us at Florida State don't want to have it. We don't want to have it. Is, in this new era of college football, and by the way, it's new for Georgia and Alabama, Penn State, everybody. You're going to have, as Josh Pate so eloquently said, you're going to have dead seasons because of the portal and the way things are going now. And NIL, you're gonna miss on guys, and you're going to have some injuries, and you're going to have dead seasons. Doesn't mean your coach doesn't know what the hell they're doing. Sometimes it does mean that, but a lot of times it doesn't. Like James Franklin, I don't think he should have been fired, but I understand the frustration of fans when you see Ohio State and Michigan winning national championships, and your guy just can't seem to win big games, but you were still a field goal away from playing for the national championship. I'd kill this FSU.
His firing was not because he lost 3 games in a row this year and who he lost them to. Yeah. That's not why he got fired, because of the past 12 years, right. His inability to get over the hump. And he came close, obviously, just months ago. Yes. But he didn't do it. And now you combine that with now I don't know anything about Penn State. I can't stand Penn State as a program. I've never been a Penn State fan, but we have very good friends that are very close to the Big Ten up there.
It's an incredible program.
Who will tell me that program was becoming toxic under James Franklin, that he was losing control of just about everything that was going on. And really? that can happen after 12 years.
Like, in what way?
Losing control of the players. Oh, that the program was becoming toxic again, as far as behavioral things that were needing to be swept under the rug. And
I did not know that.
So again, I'm not reporting that. I'm just saying those are the things that I've heard from my people who are close to the Big Ten.
Interesting.
So this firing could go much, much deeper than just he lost 3 games in a row to, Northwestern, UCLA, and whatever, but in Oregon, I guess, but whatever,
So we seem to have a little bit of a discussion going on here, respectful, because we got rid of the other douchebag.
Oh, did we ban him?
I did.
Oh, okay.
Because I asked him to be nice, and he just
and he wasn't.
Put an STFU in there, and I said bye-bye.
I gotta monitor comments better.
Yes, you need to. Amon says Bucs defensive ranks after 6 game total defense 14th, scoring defense 24th, 5th versus the run, 21st versus the pass, 15th on third down, 28th in the red zone, tied for 17th in takeaways. Definitely not the 2002 Bucs. Definitely not, but making plays to win games like they did last week. So it's been a bit of a mixed bag. I don't think the defense is bad, but I don't think it's good either. I think it's kind of right in the middle, to be quite honest. And then where's that other comment? I thought was good. Oh, from First Name Greatest said those defensive ranks are versus Penix, Stroud, Tyrod Taylor, Hurts, Darnold, and Mac Jones. They still have to play Goff, May, Allen, and Stafford. True. But
I'm not scared of any of those guys, though.
I mean, Mac Jones can play, obviously. But he was a little beat up, and I think we got a lot of sacks because he couldn't really get out too much. But Vita Vea was crushing people too. Darnold was, he was fantastic. They scored 35 points. So he was really, really good. So listen, I think the defense is a work in progress. And every week's different. Just match up and go play. And they're getting some guys back.
As far as the guys that you still have to play that he listed there, Goff, May, Allen, and I'm not scared of any of those guys.
Yeah, me neither.
So
Big O's here.
What up, Big O?
We'll be doing a Big O show coming up. There's a lot of good baseball. One of the craziest plays I've ever seen in my life.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
But listen, if you didn't see this one last night.
There was actually 3 outs on that play, but they only needed 2.
They only needed 2. Yeah, because they had the guy coming from second too, right?
No. Because Muncy rounded and passed Edmund. Edmund got in between. Muncy kept running. So technically, you could have had another out by Muncy passing Edmund.
Okay. Yeah, gotcha.
So he's out there.
If you didn't see the play, up on the wall.
You got to watch it.
If you haven't
seen it, you got to watch it.
But I would say this: the guy on third, you got to score.
The mistake that Hernandez made is very simple.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that once, and people don't know this, but once it hits the glove, you're free to run.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You should know that.
You just go.
You should know that. Just go. You're a Major League Baseball player.
Bobble it 8 times.
Yeah.
And still make the catch. You don't have to be sitting there until the catch is made.
No.
Once it taps the glove,
yes, you go.
You're free to go.
Yeah.
And he should have scored. Even if they got into a little situation where they got one of the outs at third, he should have scored. It's all a moot point because they ended up winning.
Right.
But what an exciting game.
All right, so Big O show coming up at 12:30. If you want to watch and listen live and participate, you know how to do it. All these FanStream Sports Tampa Bay stations and Ohio, I think.
We're going to bring up one of your favorite players, by the way.
Who's that?
Christopher Morel.
Oh, the great Mr. Swing and Miss.
Oh, man, I thought you were getting into Pete and Cavilla talk today.
Oh, my
Sweet
God.
Mr. Going back to Pete Inky, huh?
How long? Why'd you bring up Pete and Cavilla?
You just said one of my favorite players. He was a Ranger for a long time. He was one of my guys.
Yeah.
Took over for the great Dean Palmer.
Yeah.
Oh.
Remember Dean Palmer?
Biggest
Tallahassee.
Yeah.
Pete had the biggest chest in baseball ever.
I watched Dean Palmer tear a bicep on a swing at the plate that you could see in slow motion on the replay. The muscle literally tear away from the bone and crawl up his shoulder to his neck. It was gross.
Dude,
it was gross.
All right, so Big O show coming up at 12:30. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Timmy. Great job. Appreciate Scott Reynolds, TJ Rives, the narc in the principal's office. He wasn't a narc.
He just worked there.
Just worked in the office. Thanks to all of you great commenters as well, except the douchebag we had to bye-bye. Don't bring that shit in my comment section. And we'll be back tomorrow, and we'll be coming up on the Big O show here at 12:30. Thank you. See you.